good was happening, people? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mama Level Papa, I welcome you to another episode of
Faith in Action!
podcast right here on your screen. I'm your host, Sikha, and alongside me I have my co-host and our beautiful, special, stunning guest over here who I will allow to introduce themselves.
Mama le Papa ko kaya, welcome to a very special episode of Faith in Action, the third episode. We are here again. I am your host, co-host. Today I'm in the passenger princess. I'm your passenger princess of today, so I'm your co-host today with the most as well, Pino. I hope you like and subscribe to the channel, and let's give a chance to our guest to speak.
Good afternoon, everyone. Lina la ka ke kerotse ke a ikitse ke o pholisitsweng ka madi a morena Jesu ke rata modimo ka le ka mo makatsang.
Period. Okay, before we continue with today's episode, guys, because topic of vandaag, it's very juicy.
Massive.
Please, you know the drill. If you haven't followed us on our social media platforms, on Instagram and Facebook, we are Promised Land Ministries International. And don't forget to share this video to as many people as you can and drop as many likes as you can so that today's message can reach as many people as it can. Right?
Right.
Okay, guys, today's topic is about social media and comparison and relationship and boundaries. Guys, social media, ne? Social media.
No, today the answer score.
Ne?
Today the answer is a very special one. It's a very one that we are all entangled in. It's a one so we want to see how do we relate into this one. How do we move in this space? So this episode is going to be very informal, very insightful, while being entertaining. So stay there with us.
Yes. So, guys, now, okay, I feel like, okay, we all know every good thing has a bad side, right?
Definitely.
So, social media is not that bad. It's not that bad. I feel like it has its benefits. It has the pros, the cons,
Yes,
the
yes.
benefits, the repercussions.
Such is life. Such as life.
So, Mama K, what's your take on social media? Like, we want to know, ne? Like, what impact do you think social media has? I don't even want to say on kids because, guys, our parents are also on social media.
Ish, wait, man.
Our parents are also on social media. So, what impact do you think social media has on us as humans?
I love what you said where everything has the pros and the cons. So social media honestly haina bothata. Social media haina bothata. E batla motho eleng gore o self aware. Kana when you are self aware it means gore you know who you are, you know what you want, you know your principles and your morals. You know where you want to go. So when you get into social media, ina le dilo tse dintsi and the topic tse dintsi, the content tse dintsi, it is upon your decision gore wena what kind of content o itlhopelang go follow because it has everything.
Yeah.
It has everything. So e batla motho eleng gore they are very much self-aware, they are very much principled, so that how tsena mole o ska iphitlhela le gore o follow content that goes against your principles, your values and your morals.
Okay.
So it ya fela ka motho gore wena how much self-aware you are and how much principled you are.
You know, I like what you just said because everything boils down to the person who's using whatever it is.
Valid.
So social media, you can say, just like the Bible or the Word of God is referenced, is a double-edged sword. So, you know, it has power to inflict, but it has that same power to inflict upon you as well.
Exactly.
So what is good can also be bad. In medical terms, but too much of something is bad.
It's bad,
Even
yeah.
if that something is good. So it only depends on who uses it and what's the use of social media.
Exactly.
Because there are people that say Instagram is bad, but now we use Instagram to engage people about Christ.
Valid.
So it's all about how you use social media. It's right, you are right. It has its pros and its cons.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
all about the person. So now I want to ask this
Okay.
about social media. Now, how to a person who is, let's say, newly in Christ or has been in Christianity, how do, okay, social media, yes, it has a power to tempt,
Yeah,
it
yeah,
has
yeah.
a power to pull you away from God. So how do we move in that space to change, let's say, the algorithm of
Yeah.
social media to be more of one that brings you closer to God? So how do we manage that space? Oh,
Witty, great minds think alike, because I had the very same question, but you beat me to it. Okay, so, okay, speaking from my experience, okay, enough, like, I've always been Christian, born again Christian, you know. But speaking from my experience, ke gore, like, you know, as you are a Christian, like you devote yourself to Christian, you devote yourself to God, ne?
Yeah.
Like literally, you would wanna know anything, everything, anything that has to do with God, like lokane in everything that you do, even usa tsengele effort ya gago, go a bontsha gore no man wena, like there's something different about
There's
you.
something
Wa bona,
different about
you
you, yeah.
stand out. So I feel like, okay, with my experience now, how I get to control my algorithm to feed my spirit,
spirit,
instead
yeah.
of pushing me or secreting
from
me away
God.
from God, is that I would just, okay, maybe browse through TikTok and then search one thing about church or one thing about God. Next moment, my For You page,
Everything is
church,
Christianity.
yes.
God. So algorithm, it picks up on these small details, like
That's
that's like a single word,
yes.
and then like, it will just go crazy. Did I answer your question?
I think you did, because what I was aiming for, I was aiming to make people aware that social media, it's feeding you as well as the way that you use it. Because in social media, is people like to say you are what you feed yourself.
Yeah.
So social media, it should be used to feed yourself and to feed your spirit as well as being entertaining
Exactly,
in terms of other stuff. So how do we now navigate that space of, okay, I am now a newly born again Christian, or I want to increase that Christian spirit in me in social media. Says, K, please, how can we do that as a young person? Because I'm more focused on like young people and this social media now.
Like I said, the only content in social media, even content so it is there. And
Yeah.
when you have chosen to follow Christ, it has to show. You can't just choose and then how it's on social media, you follow something different, you become a different person. So you have to get into social media or wherever that you go with you. The principle is you get into social media, because I get sometimes, like you say, sometimes it recommends pages that you can watch. Just because something is being served to you,
Yeah.
it does not mean you must
Yeah.
feed from it. You
Yeah.
you have control to choose what you decide to cast away and what you decide to consume.
And Javier, I feel like it just happens, man. Like sometimes, like let's say for example, ke hetso rapela, ne?
Yeah.
Or ke hetso bala Bible, or I just spoke to God, like, yo God, let me tell you about my day. And then ha ke tsena mo TikTok, boom, Christian content. Like it just happens, you know? So yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Mama K, o no batla go bua something?
I was just saying it always boils down to self-control and self-discipline.
Yeah.
It always boils down to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I take you're a mother, ne? So this question, I feel like most mothers or most parents would relate to the question, ne? How, as a mother, do you ensure that like your children are well fed from social media? Because you know, right, bana ba malatsi yana, bana le di phone, bana le di social media. So how do you manage that? Okay, like how
Social
do you
media
go
is not
about it?
harmful
Do
to
you
them.
manage it, or do you?
You know, with me, ne, I've all my kids, I buy them phone at grade 8 to start
okay.
with. All my kids, I buy them phone at grade 8. There's the other one who's doing grade 8. I'm going to buy her a phone now in grade 8.
Halala.
And when I first bought my firstborn a phone, I was monitoring it. I
Okay.
told her, I'm buying you this phone, but I have total control over it because I needed to be sure gore, are we dirisetsa for things that are feeding her spirit rightfully so.
Yeah.
So I think I checked her phone until she did grade 10. So I never bought a child. I never buy a child a phone as and the first time I address a phone, I make sure that I monitor content e leng gore wa e follower, wa e searcha in social media.
Period.
And by the way, she only had Facebook when she was above 16. I don't allow anyone to have a Facebook account because. Hey,
There's a lot of exposure.
yes,
Yeah.
and there are things that you can say on social media that can definitely tamper with your future when you have even forgotten.
Yeah.
So it's very important that we monitor them and we check them.
Wow, that's beautiful. Okay, so one last question under this topic, Naya,
Yeah.
social media and comparison. Speaking of comparison, like we know, okay, us as people, we have different standards at life. You know, you would find that somebody else is a bit higher than you, or somebody else is a bit lower than you. So now, my question is, do you guys think, like, I get the example again, I'm on TikTok and then I see this influencer is living a very, very lavish life. Kiri, designer bag, designer what, eh? Like, do you guys feel like it would get to a point where I start losing my confidence or my self-esteem and start comparing myself to that person and then start being ungrateful for the things that I have? Like, yeah, how what do you guys think about that?
That is very much common to compare yourself with your peers
Yeah.
on social media. One thing that we must understand is that people are giving us what they want us to see, not what exactly is happening. They are giving us what they want us to. Whatever that I post on social media, it is what I want you to see. And sometimes they post the results. They don't post the process.
Yeah.
And then when are you looking at the result, when are you still in the process and you like. But one thing that I want to say to you, you must understand that if you're doing your best, you're working, you're doing what you can do to make your future bright, you must understand that you are exactly where you were supposed to be at that moment. You do not have to compare. Botshelo is a journey.
Yeah.
And journey, it's some they get there earlier and they die. Some they take time to get there and they remain until so it's just a journey. And like those are Facebook posts, those are social media posts. They are not
Yeah.
real life things. They are real life issues that people are not posting, and nobody will be comfortable to post things that they are
real life
not
issues,
comfortable
yeah.
of,
Oh, yeah,
that
true.
they are embarrassed.
Yeah.
So we post what we want you to see on social media, and normally we post dilo tse leng gore they kind of di re baya nyana kwa.
Oh yeah.
Because you want to
But-
be perceived in a certain way as well. Because it's all about the mindset that you get when you do
Exactly.
that. Because also you can say comparison is bad in a sense, because you can compare yourself to a person to say, okay, I want to reach that goal. But if the
Yes.
comparison is in such a fact that you are always bringing yourself down,
Yeah,
that means
it
you know that
starts to
that's a
decay,
mindset that I
yeah.
need to change.
Yes.
So that's like the message to the young people, which I have, that don't compare yourself to bring yourself down.
Yeah.
Let your comparison be the one that brings you up
To
in
build
whatever
you,
that you do. Whether
yeah.
you compare yourself to the smartest kid in your class, compare yourself to say, okay, if she can do
Do
that,
it,
I can do
definitely,
that as well.
yes.
So I feel like
Yeah.
in terms of social media and comparison, yes, she's right. People show you what they want you to see about their lives. So everything in social media is not real. You see, it's a curated. It's something say no, like it's a plain. Like about one point against yana. Le picture
orchestrated,
ke ba mo social
yeah.
media. I edit ke tsenya kwa ke
You
tsenya
make
filter
sure,
e yana. Engela picture ke batla in a certain way, in a certain what.
Exactly.
So we need to understand that there's a process to everything.
Yeah.
Everything just. I want to specific.
Yeah.
So in social media, know that okay, this person worked for 1, 2, 3. That means if I'm not there, there's still work that I need to do to get there.
And with the recent things that has been happening, you don't have to aim video because dilo tse di tlhagelelang nou yana, people are doing crazy stuff to
To get whatever
to
they
get
have.
wherever they are. So that's why I'm saying sometimes you get the result and you don't see the process. How can a process say you will just say no, I don't want to be part of this.
Totally about
I don't
it.
want to.
Ke shapa ka vibe. Okay, so ore Pinga ore don't compare yourself to bring yourself down.
Down,
bring yourself
yes.
Also, don't compare yourself to bring someone you're comparing yourself to down.
Down.
Exactly.
Nah.
Yes.
Oh man, this topic, you know.
Yeah.
It's
I can.
it's something else, ne? It's something else.
It's nice.
Now let's step into the relationship and boundaries now.
Sure.
Because this is something that we all, every day, there's a relationship with someone, boundaries, and the thing about being Christian is that the fact that you are Christian is the fact that you are set apart because of your religion.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
that
yeah,
is
yeah.
step one. That means you are separated in this world. In what sense? I mean, in a sense that, okay, I usually say boundaries are not a wall to keep people out. No.
Okay.
Boundaries are a line to show that this is where I draw everything. That if something were to move past this boundary, that's where I don't
It's
mix
tight,
myself
yeah.
in. So the problem with young people and boundaries now, we build these boundaries to keep people out and to shut ourselves into this box of, you know what, I get badly in. And how do we stop that? How do we stop using boundaries in such a way that we kill every relationship that we have, whether it be parents, whether it be friends, whether it be relatives and whatnot, and Christian relationship as well? How can we?
Because if that's the case, now you keeping them away, it means that it's no longer boundaries. You are isolating yourself.
Yeah.
Because boundaries are rules that you set to protect your energy, your time, your peace. I get it. And it's not only to protect you, to protect yourself against others, is to also protect yourself from stepping into others' boundaries. Right? So ke feel like when the boundaries are positive, there is nothing wrong with that. Because at the end of the day, you cannot be everything to everyone. You cannot be for everyone and for everything.
Yeah.
You have to have boundaries. And like I said in the beginning, that when you are self-aware and when you know where you want to go, you know who you are, you know what you stand for, there's no way that you can never have boundaries. And having boundaries without even feeling guilty. Because some people will make you feel guilty because o feel like gore nna ke busy ka dilo tsa sekolo, I cannot go with you. And they want to make you feel like, you know, you're not a good friend, you're not a good person. So boundaries are there to protect your time, your energy, and to make sure that you stay on track.
And gape, do not ever in your life compromise. Don't compromise yourself, your values, what you believe in, just for somebody who fails to respect your boundaries.
Yeah.
Well, because you get to a point where by now it's like, what was the point of setting your boundaries anyways? Because like now first of all, this person who disrespected like who overstep the boundaries, and yet you continue to let them in your life. So how much further, or how much more damage are they gonna do in your life, or commit in your life? You see.
I love what you just said, because there are some people, when you say no, now they use that no that you said, they weaponize it against you.
Yeah.
So how do you in that space now reassure yourself that I am doing the right thing with my no, of saying, my religion and the way I grew up does not allow me to do whatever it is that you want us to do right now? How do we reassure ourselves in that time where our boundaries are being used against us, so that they can, so that motho obvious a kere a ke batla go ako wena mo kreste eng klare setse ke doubt or mare what if mare ka go misa out, what if for mare ka re mata tsa ka dia go ha ke tsamaye le bone, ha ke boa ke go tlotlang le bone? So how do we reassure ourselves in that time, in that space of I am actually doing the right thing with keeping this boundary of mine?
You know, the thing about boundaries is that if you set them and you are unable to enforce them, they are no longer boundaries, they're just a wish. And remember, why did you set those boundaries in the first place? You set them to protect your time, your peace, your energy, and to not waste your efforts in things that don't really matter, things that don't add to who you are, things that don't speak to where you want to go. So ke nagana gore in a situation where we iphitlhela le gore you are saying no and your friend is expecting you to say yes and they are using that against you,
Yeah.
then it's literally saying that person is not the person for you, unfortunately. Because a person who cares about you, who loves you genuinely, will definitely respect your boundaries. As much as le wena o feel o batla gore di boundaries tsa go di respectiwe, you have to respect other people's boundaries. And when you say no, you don't even have to explain. Or no, I'm saying no because of they must just understand. Gore it's not something that you are interested in. It's not something that you want to do at that moment. They must just respect that. If a person challenge the boundaries tsa gago, a di crosser consistently and a di weaponize the responses tsa gago, tse we enforcing the boundaries tsa gago ka tsone, then that person does not deserve to be in your life. I mean, they are going to frustrate you.
Oh.
Because constantly you tlo go batla go mo please now, and then that is breaking your boundaries. And once you break your boundaries, then you are for everything and for everyone. And now only direction mo botshelong. Wa e bona?
Yo.
That was so powerful.
Ne? Yo, Mama K, when you look at my man.
Oh, that was so powerful. Your
That was
boundaries
so
set your
insightful, man.
direction.
Oh my
I so love
gosh.
that.
Oh, beautiful.
So beautiful. And people at home, we'd like to thank you for joining us in this episode today, where we have learned that your boundaries set your direction in life, and that keep your boundaries. Know that social media has its pros and its cons, and it's all up to you, the way you grew up and the way your principles are set. So, any last remarks, Mama K, in to our young people who is watching there, and anything that you want to say to them?
Always the stage here, youth, it's a critical one because you understand you're talking about stages of development where you're still figuring yourself. So it's very easy to compare our dirang, but I want our youth to on their self-awareness. You be self-aware. Find out and those things they help you to set boundaries, they help you to defy temptations, they help you to direction mo botshelong. So let's just work on our self-awareness. I know it's not easy, especially more youth, you want to explore, you want to, but at the end of the day, when you are self-aware, even when you explore, you know how you explore within certain boundaries.
Beautiful.
That was so powerful. So, any last words?
Yo, any last words? Nah, I don't have any last words. Mama K took all of our words, but so yeah, thank you, Mama K, for
Thank
your
you for
visit
so
today.
much,
Thank you for taking time out of your day to come spend it here with us and spread the word to the world. Thank you so much.
No, thank you very much for having me.
You're you're very much welcome. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Mama Lebo Papa, we have come to the end of our episode here. Mo
Faith in Action
podcast right here on your screen. Guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And please don't forget to like, to share. Share with your friends, friends, their cousins, your cousins, mothers, cousins, sister. We're taking share at this point. Share with everybody.
The whole South Africa.
Share with everybody, and drop as much likes as you can,
possible.
so that the message of today could be spread to the whole wide world. With that, Mama Lebo Papa, adios. See you guys next week, same time, same place.
Salute.